Today we are going to talk about how to build a tree swallow box.
All right, guys, this is the basic setup here for your tree swallow box. Let's go through some measurements here. These are inch thick boards and they are 6 inches wide. And all of them are cut out of the same board. So this one is the backboard, which is 13.5 inches long. And then you've got 4 of these 9-inch long boards. Still same thing, same 6 inches. And then you've got, well, a 4-inch board that is going to be the bottom of the bird box. That'll sit on there just about like that. So you've got an inch on each side of it so that the sides of the bird box can go up against it. All right, let's so remember those measurements and let's get started.
All right, so we have our hole cut for the opening, and you can tell that's not in the middle, but you know, sometimes birds just don't really care. Sometimes the drill bit just kind of takes off on you and does its own little thing. Now, you're going to put some holes in this so you can anchor it. Now you want to leave one side that creates like a hinge system to where you can clean this box out at the beginning of every year. So you're going to put you're going to put 2 holes on the sides here. You're going to put one up about 1.5 inches from the top, and then the same thing on the bottom, about 1.5 inches from the bottom. And it's just 1 inch away from the side of this. Now you want to put the same hole on the other side, but just a little bit lower, because you're going to create a vent slat so that door can slide on this part of the birdhouse as well. All right, so you got that part done. Now you grab your 2-inch deck screws, and you're going to need, well, we need to put one more hole in this actually. We need to put one hole in the very bottom of this, because we're going to put our so that's just in the bottom middle, and that's just so that we can put the bottom piece onto this birdhouse as well. Put all your screws in there. I just put them in there by hand to start off with. Grab another 9-inch piece. That's going to be your side. Stand that up. Put that board right up there. Flush it up as much as you can. I prefer to make sure it's flush at the top. If you mismeasure and there's a little bit of an overlap right there on the side, no big deal, no problem. Birds are very easy to get along with. They're going to be happy just to have a spot that's not stuck up in a tree somewhere and be out there and all the elements with their nests and their eggs flying around. Put that on there. Now you grab that 4-inch piece that we were talking about earlier that's going to be the bottom. You just set that on there, flush that up with the bottom the best you can, and tighten that one screw right there for the bottom piece. There you go. Now let's tighten the bottom and that one side that you just put on. So we're going to drill a hole so that we can put one screw across the bottom. Go ahead and put that screw in there. You got to realize that birds are not incredibly picky whenever it comes to their bird box. But boy, are you helping them out a ton by creating a bird box. That's one thing that I will say. You are helping them out a whole lot. All right, let's put this other side on. This is another 9-inch piece, and we're going to put it on this side. And you want to put about 1 inch, this is a little bit less than 1 inch, but about 1 inch of a gap from the top part of your facer board, or the bird access board. You want to put about 1 inch gap at the very top. That's going to allow them to be able to breathe, and it's going to allow you to create this swinging effect with your side door. So put that on there, put our inch gap, and we're going to tighten this one screw on this front part of the board so that we can start the construction of this other side. You don't have to tighten them down incredibly hard. You just go to the face part of the board and you're going to have it together pretty well. Trust me. Birds are going to be more than happy with what you got. Okay, now you don't put any other screws in this side part right now. You don't put one at the bottom. You don't put one at the bottom of the facer board. You don't put one on the bottom on this side because you want this to swing. Now you don't want to do that a lot with this one screw in there, but we're going to put another screw on the back side. So now you grab your 13.5-inch board, put that across the top. You want to give adequate space because you're going to put one screw down here in the bottom of the birdhouse to be able to anchor to the tree, to the post, wherever. And you're also going to do the same at the very top. So we'll get to that in a minute, but you want to put, I'd say there's about 3 inches here on the bottom, and then there's probably like 4 or more inches at the top that you're going to be able to overhang that box. So let's put some holes in here. So you're going to want to put one hole in the very bottom. Let me put this up here so you can see it a little bit. So you're going to want to anchor the bottom board to this back board. You're going to want to anchor the sides and just put two holes in the back board to be able to anchor this one fixed side. And then you're going to want to put one screw hole on this side to be able to create that lever effect, or be able to make sure that side door opens and closes the way it does. So let's do that really fast. So we just put it on there in the same kind of measurements and make sure it kind of looks good. Kind of flush up your sides a little bit. This is all reclaimed wood that I'm using right now. So nothing's completely centered or square. But you know what? Is that a whole lot better than being in a landfill somewhere? Sure it is. And I think it kind of makes the birds feel at home. You can also make this out of cedar. If you have cedar planks where you're at, I would love to be able to do that with all my bird boxes, but using this reclaimed wood, I think, which means I can't prove, but I think I can get about 5 years out of these bird boxes before they start to break down, and that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So now we got that one side that's got the lever anchored up right there. Now let's go over here and do this other side. This is our fixed side. So we're just going to put one screw in here at the top. Get that nice and tight. Not drop your bit. I know I can buy a chuck for this thing, so that doesn't happen. I'm just cheap. And I'm trying to buy fencing supplies. So all right, so there is a problem. I did not get that in the right line. So all I do is I just pull that screw back out. Instead of don't just let it go. I mean, you want to have some pride in your work and everything because you're doing a good thing for these birds. There you go. So you just realign that. No big deal. Little hole in the bottom. Not going to hurt anything for those birds whatsoever. All right. So now there's the box as it is. I'm going to go ahead and put the roof on. Now the roof is just another 9-inch board, and it sits right on top like that. And all you got to do is put 2 screws here in the back to be able to anchor to the roof piece, and then 2 screws in the front so that you will anchor the roof to this front plate. Now you see our hole here on the side. That's very important, obviously, for the door, and also for the birds to be able to breathe. So let's anchor this all down now. And you don't have to overthink it. You just kind of go to side, kind of see where it lines up at and everything, because you can see it. I mean, just look at the side and go, oh, that looks pretty good, pretty close. And if you miss anything, it's not a big deal. You should feel pretty good about doing all this. Oh yeah. I think everybody should feel good about any kind of project they're taking on voluntarily. And obviously this is a volunteer. Do you have to have this on your farm? No. Will it help your farm immensely if you have this on there? Yes. Yes, it will. You know, the number of tree swallows has been decreasing over the last 30 years. And if one bird box on my farm helps keep the population going, keep it kind of running right, then I'm going to do that. Now, is this going to help keep flies down on your farm? Oh, yes. In the next video, we're going to talk about that a little bit and why that is such a huge help to farms. Let's see, let's turn this around. That back plate is not completely straight. Not that it has to be, but we're going to do the best job that we can, obviously, with it. Going to anchor it up just like that. There's that. Now let's put 2 more screws here in the front. What I did is I flipped this board around because I wasn't liking the way it sat. So that's just me being picky. The birds aren't picky. I just want it to look pretty good because this is actually going to someone else and not me. So I want to make sure that they have a good taste in their mouths whenever they see the box, put the box up. All right, so now the box is basically assembled, but we got to put the anchoring to the tree or post in here. So it's very simple again. Taking the same 1/8 bit. And so whenever I go and I put a hole at the very top of this, so here's our bird box. So you're going to put a screw here to be able to anchor into that post. So I go to the very back of it, and I believe putting it more on an angle upwards creates a better, it fits better. It's just going to work better. It's going to be able to sit there and it's going to have all that weight directly on that screw, and it won't, if you put it in directly straight, it's going to pull forward. So I just think angling this up makes a better bird box stabilization anchoring kit. So there's that part. And then this one on the bottom, I just go straight down. You want to try to put those in the middle as best you can because you want your box to be as level as it can be as well. Then you flip this around because I don't like carrying screws around everywhere, and if I can put the beginning of a screw in there, I'm going to do it. So I put that bottom screw just a little bit in there, and this top one, because it's on an angle, and you can kind of see that angle right there. It's a little bit more straight down. You just take that, boom. There you go, folks. There is your tree swallow bird box. It's got the door on the side, and it opens up. You're able to close it. You can put a screw here with it sticking out a little bit if you want to make sure that this does not come open on anybody. But there you are, folks. I hope this helps you. I hope this helps you increase your population of tree swallows on your farm. Thank you for doing this, and we'll see you next time.